One QB truthers, stand up. We are going to do a one QB Dynasty rookie mock draft to kind of tell you how we would be drafting in these one QB leagues. As you know, we are more super flex guys, but we understand a lot of you guys are one QB guys. And so if you enjoy the video, make sure you drop a like if you want more one QB content, and we can maybe sort that out for you. But I'm going to start here. I'm going to take the 101, and I don't really have to talk about it a whole lot. In one QB leagues, just like in super flex leagues, just like you would in a 3, 4, 5 quarterback league, 6 quarterback league, you'd be taking Ashton Jeanty 101. And so there's really no question about this. He's going to be extremely productive from day one. He's going to have that backfield to himself. He's on a Pete Carroll coach team now. It's looking better there than it has previously for the Raiders, and now they have Jeanty, and he makes it better. He's a situation changer. He's the 101.
So at the 102, I'm going to go ahead and take Omari and Hampton. Not a question for me. Again, I think it's here of his own. At the 102, this is a landing spot that you dreamt of since you knew that Hampton was declaring for the NFL draft and was going to be the second best running back prospect in this class and one of the more loaded running back classes that we've seen in quite a while. So not a question for me in a Greg Roman offense. That's an absolute dream.
I like the running backs, and I'm going to take Travion Henderson here. Goes to the Pats. Early second, a great landing spot, right? Playing alongside Drake May in an offense that's added some pieces, should look a little bit better. Added a coach that's a much better coach than Gerard Mayo was in Mike Vrabel. You've seen success with his teams historically. I mean, he's been in the playoffs a lot, even with really mid teams. And Drake May is the best quarterback I think he's ever had in his career. But Drake May and his versatility should really be good for Travion Henderson. Obviously, Henderson has a complete skill set. He has very little competition there. Ramondre Stevenson would be the only guy. And Ramondre Stevenson was really a guy that the old coaching staff was in on. The new coaching staff just came in and they just got their guy in Travion Henderson. From day one, he should be the starting running back in New England, and my guess is he's going to be day one fantasy productive. The elite draft capital that Travion Henderson got in a one QB league, I will absolutely take the running back, and you're going to keep it going.
In any normal class, Henderson or Judkins would probably be the first running back off the board if it weren't for the elite status of Ashton Jeanty and Omari and Hampton from a prospect perspective. Judkins I will happily take with the 4th pick here because he gets like early second round draft capital to one of the more commonly mocked landing spots that you saw for him in the pre-draft process throughout the entire offseason. Judkins to the Browns, you saw him mocked as late to them to the Browns in the 3rd and as early to them in the early 2nd. He gets early second round draft capital, actually drafted over Travion Henderson. This is exactly what you wanted to see for a guy like Judkins, who analytically was a little bit lower, but I think he's been elevated so much by this DC and investment that you're going to expect him to be their top option and ultra productive for quite a while, since they don't even have a quarterback, but they do have Shedeur.
That's true. They do have Shedeur.
5th round.
I'll take Tet McMillan here at the 105. I feel really good about this. He's the first wide receiver off the board, and you're getting him at the 105. And I think this is going to be very possible in your one QB leagues, right? I think there are going to be scenarios where everybody goes running back, and then you start getting Tet McMillan, Travis Hunter a little bit later here. And I think that's a very good thing for you, those of you who are drafting in these rookie drafts. Tet McMillan gets top 10 draft capital. That's elite draft capital. And we're looking at the situation. He's going to a Carolina Panthers team where he is going to dominate there in terms of target volume, in terms of production, in my opinion. Leggett, Coker, they really aren't going to do anything to him. And he has the potential to come in and be productive right away in that situation. In a situation where you saw Dave Canales make fantasy wide receivers relevant, right? With Mike Evans, with Chris Godwin when he was in Tampa Bay. And I don't think anybody in that wide receiver room is touching him. I think he is the surefire wide receiver one there. I think you feel really good about getting a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL draft at the 105 in your Dynasty rookie drafts.
At the 106, give me Travis Hunter. He debatably is the best wide receiver prospect in this class, and he gets 2nd overall draft capital to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who not only selected him there with the 102, but traded up to get him and paid an additional 1st round pick in 2026 and their early 2nd round pick in this year's draft, which really enabled Cleveland to be able to go get their guy in Quinshawn in the early 2nd. This, to me, should not impact where Travis Hunter goes in the draft. Like the fact that he went to Jacksonville instead of where we expected him to go in Cleveland, like Travis Hunter paired with BTJ, I'm totally fine with. I honestly prefer Trevor Lawrence to be throwing the ball to Travis Hunter than a combination of Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, and Shedeur.
Yep.
Like, call me crazy, but I would rather have Travis Hunter, worst case scenario, QB2 in that offense than QB1 in Cleveland. This is great for him.
It's awesome.
And I think they're going to be very complementary assets. I think they're going to help each other be more productive. You're talking about Liam Cohen, who's now the head coach there, who was the OC for Tampa last year, and he found out how to get Mike Evans and Chris Godwin to be ultra productive together in the same offense together.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see that with Hunter and BTJ.
We're giving specific 1 QB rookie draft advice. The best way for us to, you could convert us to 1 QB people, but the best way to do that is to flood the community. And so we are doing 1 QB rookie draft blueprints. We have our specific set of rankings and strategy points for our 1 QB leagues and our 1 QB players and community members. So you can come join the community. A bunch of other people over there play. I think probably 1/3 of our customers about play 1 QB. And so you can come join the community with other 1 QB players, get team blueprints. Right now you get 2 team blueprints with the annual Motherflocker tier with code DOMAIN to unlock that. And right now we're running 2 free blueprints as our specials. You can do that and also get the rookie draft toolkit, which again is everything you need. Databases. You've got the rookie draft guide, the rookie draft tool, everything you need to win your rookie drafts and eventually win your league, because that's what we're all about. So if you're 1 QB truther and you want to come over and join the community, we'd be happy to have you. flockfantasy.com/domain. Code DOMAIN will get you our exclusive Discord and every tool that we offer. But let's keep it going here. At the 1-7, no-brainer. Caleb Johnson. He's here. He's in a tier of his own. We love him. He gets a really great landing spot, in my opinion, from a fit perspective in the Pittsburgh Steelers offense, with Arthur Smith being the offensive coordinator there. He is far more talented than every other running back in that room. It's not even close. I mean, he's going to take that job from day one. And similar to some of the other guys that were drafted in the top 4 of this mock draft, he is going to immediately be productive, and he's immediately going to be the starter there. And so there's not much to say about Caleb Johnson. His analytical profile is fantastic, and I think getting him anywhere in the first in these Dynasty rookie drafts is going to be a very good play for your Dynasty team.
I think RJ Harvey is going to be a good play for your Dynasty team at the 108 as well. I would look past the fact that he's 55 years old and really respect the fact that he went in the second round to the Denver Broncos to be the top option when they decided to let go of Javonte Williams, who is now a Dallas Cowboy. There's Audric Estime and Jaleel McLaughlin left in that offense. You have already seen what they can and cannot do there. They were not able to take over the job with Javonte Williams in that offense. Sean Payton moved up to get RJ Harvey. Sean Payton, in the past, I think Sean Payton knows a little bit better than we do. We can question the pick. We can have our own doubts about RJ Harvey, the prospect. At the end of the day, this guy has day 2 investments at the running back position, which is what you're looking for these types of prospects. And analytically, he actually moves up our boards quite a bit more than we would have expected with that draft capital. I understand he's older, but his receiving skill set paired with his rushing capability that he showcased on film is enough for me, on top of Sean Payton believing in RJ Harvey. Not me, not you. Sean Payton, $100 million head coach, NFL head coach, Sean Payton, who just took the Denver Broncos with Bo Nix to the playoffs last year, probably knows what he's doing better than we do. And not only will I trust that, but that situation alone, you have to be thrilled about that situation, ideally for RJ Harvey, just like you would have been for any other running back that was going to go there. You're less excited because it's RJ Harvey, yes. Would you have liked to see? Would you like to have seen Omarion Hampton go to the Broncos?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I would have been happy there. Caleb Johnson, the Broncos.
Yes.
Yes. Scadaboo, yes. RJ Harvey, maybe you're 10% less excited. I'm still excited. Yeah, you got to take him here.
It's an exciting pick, and you're getting him in the late first at this point of your Dynasty rookie drafts. I'm going to mix it up and go tight end. I'm going to go Tyler Warren here. Tyler Warren going to the Indianapolis Colts, and they're really the difference between him and Loveland. Although in our 1 QB rookie rankings, we're going to have Loveland and Warren in the same tier because they got very similar draft capital. Each of them has questions about their landing spots. One of them is playing with a plethora of talented players and a great quarterback, and so the landing spot is objectively better in terms of an offensive firepower. But the thing with Warren is instantly the wide receiver 1 in the Colts offense. And so even though the offense is going to suck, he's going to get so many targets. Double-digit targets in multiple games. I mean, a lot of games this year. I guarantee it. As a Colts fan, we can confidently tell you it's going to be true. They did not draft him to not throw them the ball. The Penn State ran their offense through him. And so I'm very confident taking Tyler Warren here. Obviously, you've got Matthew Golden on the board, Colson Loveland on the board. But, I mean, in a 1 QB, especially in a tight end premium league, which we're drafting tight end premium here, I'm very comfortable taking Tyler Warren, and I think he's worth a shot here at the end of the first.
I think Matthew Golden is worth a shot at the 110 as well. I think it's worth noting that you can say, hey, late first round draft capital, historically speaking, or at least in the last couple of years, hasn't really meant that much for the hit rate of those wide receivers and who's actually going to pan out and who's not. Analytically, Matthew Golden isn't the best prospect, but from a film talent versatility perspective, he absolutely is. And I do want to highlight, it does mean something that the Packers went out of their way. Gutekunst went out of his way to draft a wide receiver in the first round, which that franchise, that organization has not done since 2002.
Yeah.
That is incredibly notable. They broke the 20-plus year drought for Matthew Golden specifically in the first round. I think that's enough to say, hey, like, given the situation, the fact that there's not an alpha there, Christian Watson has not panned out, Jaden Reed is limited, Dobbs and Wicks are one-trick ponies. They're not really going to command a ridiculous amount of target volume. Golden can step in there right away and be the top option in that offense, no questions asked.
It gets tough here. There's a lot of guys still left in this tier. I think I'm going to go... I'll go Loveland. I want to go tight end again because I think Loveland is kind of the same thing. You make the argument for Tyler Warren in a tight end premium league, even in one QB. Loveland goes to a great landing spot, right? This is a great landing spot. It's one of the best offenses. The problem is it's crowded, right? DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, Luther Burden now, and then Colson Loveland. Not to mention, they might have a little bit of a pass catching back in DeAndre Swift. There is a lot. There are a lot of fantasy assets that demand targets, and not that many targets to go around.
How many times do you think they're going to throw the ball this year per game?
I mean, a lot. It's Ben Johnson.
Talk about stock up for Caleb Williams.
Oh my gosh, yes. Caleb Williams can throw it. Caleb Williams can throw it to a spot on the field, and somebody's going to catch it.
That's like the only guy that's benefiting from all of these offensive picks that have been taken.
Everybody else is like going to be fighting each other, and Caleb Williams is like,
right.
I'm feeling good about this, but freaking hit my elbow. I'll take Loveland. You'll take the obvious last guy here.
Yeah, Emeka Egbuka is the last first-round wide receiver that went in this year's draft. Again, I'd be so much more excited about Egbuka if he wasn't going to Tampa, where it's just another crowded offense. Less crowded than Chicago, obviously, but he does go 19th overall, and you question the fit more than anything. Like Loveland, even though it's crowded in Chicago's offense, makes sense from a fit perspective more than a guy like Burden, who you'll see where we're going to take him later. With Egbuka, it's like he was supposed to be Godwin 2.0, or at least that's what we thought. And now Godwin's stuck there for the next 2 years. Not stuck there, but he re-signed. Mike Evans is going to be out the door. So they're going to have to find a way to get Egbuka and Godwin to mesh. How's that going to work schematically? I don't really know. But here's what I do know. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I think, led the league in like passing efficiency and production and passing yards, touchdowns, all that stuff in 11 personnel. 11 personnel is one tight end on the field. That's generally 3 to 4 wide receiver sets. So keep that in mind. Egbuka could still see the field quite a bit, even as technically the third option this year as a rookie. All it takes is Evans or Godwin to go down for a couple of games. Egbuka skyrockets up boards because of that investment alone.
Call me crazy. Who am I taking?
Scatterboo.
I'm taking Cam Scatterboo. It's a one QB league.
You're crazy.
It's a one QB league, and I want the running backs in the one QB league.
You're not crazy.
No, and these guys are all in the same tier as Burden, Higgins. Obviously, I'm skipping the wide receivers here, but I don't care. Scatterboo, he gets 4th round draft capital. He has a great profile. Analytically, he grades out very well, and he goes to a situation where his main competition is going to be Tyron Tracy. And I really don't think that's going to be that much of an uphill battle for him. I think that he's going to get a lot of volume. I think that he provides a very good skill set to be fantasy productive, especially in points per reception 1 QB leagues, where he is going to have a lot of receiving upside, I think, from day one in that offense. Again, the production and the opportunity and the skill set and the analytical profile. I like Cam Scatterboo. I'm not really worried about the draft capital. He still grades out well in the bakery, and I'm willing to take him here at the 201.
I'm going to force you to do it because I don't want to.
Fine, I'll do it. I don't care.
I'm taking Cam Ward here at the 102. This is a point where even in a 1 QB league, you spend an early second-round pick on a guy who went first overall in the NFL draft. Cam Ward, you can have questions about his rushing upside, rushing capability. I totally understand that. He went first overall in the NFL draft. He has a chance to run that franchise and be their long-term option. You can have doubts. I understand it, but you cannot deny the team investment. You just saw Caleb Williams last year, who was more obviously of a quote-unquote flawless prospect that you couldn't miss on, that went first overall, and he was going as high as like 9, 10, 11 in 1 QB drafts. I think taking Cam Ward in the early second is absolutely merited.
Well, I got to take Luther now, and that's kind of what Nathan was making me do. And we talked about this. It's DJ Moore, it's Rome Odunze, it's Colson Loveland, it's Luther Burden. Luther Burden's the wide receiver 3 there. Loveland might get more targets than him because Loveland is more elite at his position than Burden was at tight end. And so when you're looking at Luther Burden, he might be getting scraps. Or, a better way to put this is he might be a better real-life NFL wide receiver than an actual fantasy productive wide receiver. Because the skill set, you get him in open space, you let him be a gadget guy, you use him creatively in an offense that we have seen the last couple of years has been built around creativity. He fits well in the offense. It makes sense.
Yep.
It doesn't help for fantasy. And so Luther Burden, obviously, if Luther had been taken anywhere in the first round to a different team, he would be probably up here at 9.
First round. Yeah.
And because of the landing spot, which is a good landing spot, but bad for volume, Because he slid to the second round, his bakery score took a hit. But you can confidently take him now. It's early second round draft capital, so early second round pick, so it's less risk involved with taking him.
Yeah, I'll take Jaden Higgins here. Effectively the wide receiver 2 now in Houston's offense. The Stephon Diggs experiment didn't work for them because ACL injury. He's gone. He's now a New England Patriot. And you've got Jalen Knoll, who actually follows Jaden Higgins to Houston from Iowa State. Knoll will be the fireworks show third option guy. Jaden Higgins will be the guy who plays alongside Nico Collins, is going to be the second option. I will note, again, I don't like accounting for injury all the time, but for someone who's shown a consistent habit of that, like Nico Collins, who just kind of misses time every single year, and it's the same injury every single year. He's got to fix his hammies. Jaden Higgins is one Nico Collins injury away from being the top option there, and also skyrocketing up boards. So the early second round draft capital was very good for him. That's what we were hoping for. Some people were hoping for late first round draft capital. I thought that was less realistic, honestly. Early second is very solid for him in the NFL draft, and going to Houston, the more I think about it, the more and more I honestly don't hate the landing spot. I had questions about it to begin with because you're like, Higgins and Nico kind of play the same type of role. We'll see how that actually ends up working out in that offense, because I think Higgins could be very effective and very impactful for CJ Stroud. He was definitely missing a piece in that offense last year, and now that they've bolstered offensive line a little bit, he's going to have a little more time, hopefully, to distribute the ball more. And you saw multiple wide receivers be productive in that offense in CJ Stroud's rookie year.
I get Bashal Tootin. Hooray!
Yeah.
He could go as high as the 1-2 here, or the 2-2 here, I think.
Yeah, he could.
But going to the Jags, he has the best analytical profile of anybody left, and he goes to a situation where there's not a dominant running back. I mean, and Travis Etienne's far from dominant. He's athletic. He's got a great combination of skill sets in the receiving and rushing game. He was a combine riser. I'm very excited about him. I think he could be productive there early. If I don't know how it's going to look, the balance between him and Etienne, or even Tank Bigsby, I guess, but really like him as a prospect. Athletically, he's very gifted, and I think that he could be productive. And so you get him in the mid-second, you feel really good about that.
I feel pretty good about Trey Harris in the mid-second as well. He goes to the LA Chargers, which I think is like a so-so landing spot, honestly. Like schematically makes total sense. This is a do-over on QJ. Mike Williams is an absolute irrelevant. I don't care about him. He is 100% completely, totally dead. Trey Harris is the second option there alongside Lab McConkey. My questions lie in the fact that this is a Greg Roman offense. My questions lie in the fact that they just drafted Omarion Hampton in the first round. You know exactly what they're going to do first and foremost. They are going to run the ball first. They're going to prioritize running the ball, and Lab McConkey will get targets before Trey Harris does. He will be the field stretcher. He will probably be the big play upside guy. I doubt he's going to command a ton of target volume, but I could be wrong. And at the end of the day, if you want to bet on Justin Herbert, who is a phenomenal quarterback at the NFL level and can count on him helping two wide receivers be productive, I cannot deny that, and I can also respect the draft capital here and take that shot in the middle of the second round.
Okay, I think you probably have to go running back again now. Let's see.
Not a Besh. You could go Besh.
Yeah, Besh is still available. You're right. I'll take Besh. Thanks, Nathan, for the help. I'm going to take Jack Besh. I like the landing spot for Besh, right? He goes to the Raiders. Not a ton of wide receiver competition, but essentially Brock Bowers is a wide receiver. But Besh, the main thing is, like, our main knock on him was his analytical profile, but his film was really good. We had a second round grade on him. He goes to the second round, and he's he's a big body, big target, kind of Puka-esque wide receiver, although he's not near as skilled as Puka. Let's get that out of the way. But I do think he has some upside, and then the end of the second is what we're getting into now. I'm totally comfortable taking him here.
Yeah. Spoiler alert here. Picks 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 in the second round. Every single one of them, just telling you right now, is going to be a running back, and I'm going to start with Jaden Blue. There is no third round wide receiver drafted in the NFL that I would take over any of these early day 3 running backs. Jaden Blue, the speedster out of Texas, whose volume was underwhelming at Texas because of Bijan, because of Jonathan Brooks, because of the fact that we don't like the way that offense is run. And Jaden Blue was kind of, he almost played like a gadget role at the running back position, but he's also versatile. He can run the ball, he's fast, and he can catch the ball, and he can be efficient in the receiving game as well. The fact that the Cowboys didn't take a day 2 running back is a conversation in and of itself. The reality is that Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams are currently in that backfield at the moment. Deuce Vaughn is like, honestly, don't even tell me about Deuce Vaughn. Jaden Blue can go into that running back room day 1, and he can be the lead running back. He can take it over in training camp this year. I bet you $1 million there's at least going to be buzz about it, and he's going to shoot up boards because of that.
I'll take Trevor Etienne. I'm not really sure which of these running backs I like the most, and Trevor Etienne has the best analytical profile of them. But I like taking running backs here in the late second of one QB leagues. I think analytically this ends up being the best pick and has the highest hit rate. And so Etienne's my pick. I think he's going to split the backfield with Chuba Hubbard. But, I do think he has some upside if and when they move on from Chuba Hubbard. I think he's got a very good skill set. And again, the analytics are very good. I think he is a part of a committee this year in Carolina.
Yeah. Hypothetical question that isn't really hypothetical. What happened last year when CMC went down and Jordan Mason and Isaac Grenda were the next running backs up? Both of them doubled in value. They went from irrelevant to absolutely relevant, and you could move off of them for a significant amount of return in the middle of the season. Same thing's going to happen to Jordan James this year. Jordan Mason is out of that offense. He is now going to have to compete with Isaac Guerrero for touches, and I'm going to tell you right now, Jordan James from a skill set perspective is more well-rounded. He has receiving upside. He is a versatile runner, and we really liked his film and thought he could have gone a little bit earlier, but he didn't. He goes 5th round, and I still think that's solid enough in an offense that has shown that it can be very volatile because of how banged up that entire offense has gotten over the last couple of seasons. So it's if CMC goes down again, dude, Jordan James is doubling in value.
Again, right now you're picking through a big tier of running backs. I'll take Woody Marks. Woody Marks goes to a situation that I like, and I think he could be productive here pretty soon. But I am, again, smashing these running backs at the end of the second in one QB leagues, and you should too. Woody Marks goes to the Texans. He could play well alongside Joe Mixon. He has receiving upside. Not the greatest analytical profile, but still situational. I think it's really good for Woody Marks.
It's not a mock draft if you can't be a homer, and this I don't even think this is a homer pick. DJ Giddens, we both really like as a prospect. This is an Avery's guy, and the Indianapolis Colts decide to take him. I think he is effectively the running back 2 in that offense. There's no one else in that room that is going to take over what DJ Giddens is capable of doing there. And again, another thing where it's you want to take these day 3 running backs that are one injury away from being the lead running back in that offense. And Jonathan Taylor has been anything but consistently healthy for the last 3 seasons now. 3 seasons. Okay? It honestly, like, there's a decent chance that he's going to get it banged up for a couple of games, and then you're going to be able to see what DJ Giddens is capable of doing. And then you take into account the fact that Jonathan Taylor's a free agent after this year, and they most likely are not going to re-sign him, which makes him very interesting next season in terms of value.
Yeah, so there you go. Full 1 QB rookie mock draft for your Dynasty leagues. Again, if you're 1 QB truther and you enjoyed this, you want more of this, drop a like. We look at the engagement on these videos to kind of gauge how much 1 QB content we should put out. So if you drop a like, really helps us out. Make sure you're subscribed as well if you play 1 QB, and we can put more out. Trying to get to 25K subscribers. Again, come get a 1 QB blueprint. Get advice for your 1 QB draft. Flockfantasy.com/domain. Code domain. Rookie draft toolkit. 2 team blueprints. 2 rookie draft blueprints. Infinite blueprint. All of it. Full package. And you can come join the community. But we appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.